What's going on, my Central Unit Galaxy? Is the Central Man here. So this is my review of WCW Monday Nitro for the 22nd of January 1996. Before we get to this review, I need to address one thing. So my last review of WCW Monday Nitro for the 15th of January 1996, I said that Nitro was the go-home show to Clash of the Champions. Unfortunately, I was wrong. This show was the go-home show to Clash of the Champions. So this Nitro was in Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, the home of WrestleMania 9. You had the announcers, Bischoff, Mongo, Heenan, basically breaking down the matches for this Nitro, and then we got the return of Conan. I thought he would debut on the show. Unfortunately, he had a stint in WCW in the early 90s, before going to Mexico. I think he returned to Mexico. I think he did had a short run in the WWF as well. That was in the early 90s before going back to Mexico, and then maybe ECW. Did he had a run in ECW? I might be wrong. Before, going to WCW. He basically hyped himself as the Mexican World Champion. He's gonna defeat Psychosis. That because I think behind the scenes I think he's a road agent at this time period, because he's hiring guys, because at this time WCW was in this working relationship with, I think, with New Japan and also with AAA. You can tell Conan's the ones hiring guys from Mexico like Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, to form the foundation of the Cruiserweight division. That'll be later on in the year. So, typical big boys play, everyone showing up, because guys showing up on Raw for the WWF and guys showing up on Nitro in WCW. So far, we got a little bit in the Wednesday Night War between NXT and Dynamite. Another story for another time. But you miss that feeling like anything can happen. Like one showing up in, one showing up in NXT, one showing up in AEW. We missed that type of shit. I wish they kicked things off, but unfortunately it's a slow process. Never say never. But anyway, let's get back to this review. Anyway, so the first match to kick off this episode of Monday Nitro, we got Ric Flair defending the WCW World Heavyweight Championship against the Macho Man Randy Savage. All the women coming down the Savage aisle. There was like the red carpet. You got women wearing like dresses. You got woman, I think making his return, because she was in WCW before, or Jane Crockett Promotions / NWA before, managing Doom, that is Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. Butch Reed is now died recently, so rest in peace, Butch Reed. You got Mean Gene interviewing Randy Savage. Randy Savage says the Macho Man is feeling steaming hot, and Hogan came down. I thought there was be a confrontation between Savage and Hogan, but Hogan wished Randy Savage good luck. He ended his promo about like he's gonna defeat the Nature Boy. Sorry, Natural Boy. He's going to defeat the Nature Boy and strip him off the World Heavyweight Championship. And yeah, the match between Flair and Randy Savage, it was a decent match. Not the best. Back and forth between Savage and Flair. They were fighting in the barricade. Like they did like the spot when someone go through the barricade. Irish whip your opponent through the barricade. Like Savage trying to do like an axe handle onto Flair outside the ring, but Flair got out of the way. Savage eat the barricade. Basically Flair hit Savage with chops. Worked on the leg, locking the figure 4 leg lock. Flair is holding on the ropes, for cheating, for leverage. Randy Anderson was the referee, stopping Flair. Did because if you're locking your opponent with a submission hold and holding on the ropes for leverage, that still counts as a rope break. He did. I think Randy Anderson did like the count. He pulled Ric Flair by the hair. And Flair and Anderson pushed back. I don't think they do it in today's wrestling. Like like when the heel's trying to cheat, trying to hold on the ropes for leverage. And then referee, like trying to break the hold, or even like a near count. Like near fall, a near count. you know, and the referee and the heels kind of really get in the face of the referee and push each other. You don't see that, you know. In this match, we see like Randy Anderson pushing Ric Flair. We see some glimpses in the WWF/WWE with Earl Hebner and Triple H. You don't see it in today's wrestling, maybe in indies, but not like in the main rosters WWE or NXT or even in AEW or even Impact Wrestling. Like the heels doing the heel shtick, and the referee doing like playing by the rules. They get in their faces, you know, pushing the referee, and the referee push back. You don't see that. Like the referees always becoming the pussies, you know. I wish the referees do like they push back, you know, get that type of policing. You don't see that in today's wrestling. Who knows? But anyway, let's get back to this match. The ending was a bit overbooked. You had Flair was going to hit Savage with a move off the top rope. You won't see it for the next decade when in the match between Carlito and Flair at Unforgiven in 2005. Flair trying to do he's trying to do a move off the top rope. Savage kind of picked him up and thrown him into the mat. Jimmy Hart got involved. He was kind of in cahoots between the Horsemen and the DOD. He was still part of the Dungeon of Doom. Like during that match, he basically kicked Randy Savage in the gut without the referee seeing all the ribs. But the ending was a bit overbooked. You had Arn Anderson showing up, Jimmy Hart doing his shtick with the speakerphone. Anderson trying to hit Savage in the face with the knuckle duster. I think Savage got out of the way in the last minute, and Double A hit Flair in the face with the knuckle duster. Hogan came out, attacked Arn Anderson. Savage pinned Flair to win this match and become a two-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Because he won the first time at World War III in November 1995, dropped the title 1 month later at Starrcade against Flair. It's very shocking why they did this. I don't know, trying to wake up the fans. Get like a good reaction. Like, oh, we're doing the world title match is the opener instead of the main event. I wish they did this in the main event. That's just me. And afterwards, you got this confrontation between Hogan and Savage, and Savage says, you acting like you won this, I won this, and you're embarrassing yourself, and also Hogan says, if I defeat the one-man gang later on tonight, I'll be the first one to face you for the world title. And Savage says, I'm not Nick Bockwinkel, I'm not part of the WCW committee, I'm the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. He's something about like, I got your back, you got my back, I got your back. You need to get back, you need to get in that number one contender spot, then I'll give you a title shot. And then Hogan agreed, and they did. And also Savage did like a WrestleMania 9 reference. He didn't mention WrestleMania 9. He said like I wouldn't do this in Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, because the fans were booing because this is in the same place as WrestleMania 9. Because Hogan, everyone knows the stories. He doesn't want to do the job to Bret. He won the title from Yokozuna after Yoko defeat Bret at WrestleMania 9. Another story for another time. So Hogan kind of agreed, get in the number contender spots, to do my Hulkamania's proud. They did like the old year, the Randy Savage catchphrase, and that was it. So moving on to the next match. The next match, the first match, the opener was decent, good title change, but the ending was a bit overbooked, but it was a good match to kick off the show. The next match, we got Brian Pillman taking on Dean Malenko. The match was okay. It was just a standard match. It wasn't like fantastic. It wasn't, it was a slightly decent match, but besides that, it wasn't like their best match. I think it's their one and only match they had, because Pillman left the company to go to ECW and then in the World Wrestling Federation later on in 1996. Pillman was the heel at this point. He was the loose cannon. The funny part, he's rubbing Malenko's face down the mat. He was shouting, I'm the shooter, I got a bulletproof vest, I I like that. You know, I feel like before that he was pushing the cameraman. You know, you could tell he was getting into that loose cannon persona. It's a shame that, you know, it's a shame he's no longer with us. Anyway, he did like a suplex. He did like a tornado DDT. He kind of slapped Malenko in the face, and then Malenko got his offense. He hit Pillman with a powerbomb near the ropes. You know, remember, if you go underneath the rope, that'd be an automatic rope break. It wasn't. He powerbombed Pillman for the near pinfall. He drop kicked Pillman, trying to drop kick them out of the ring. He kind of leaning onto the top of middle rope. He kind of cowardly get out of the ring. Malenko trying to hit Pillman with a baseball sliding drop kick. Pillman got out of the way. They were fighting outside the ring. Pillman sent Malenko through the barricade. They went back in the ring. In the end, they were teasing like, I'm guessing like, Pillman was going for like a sunflip powerbomb. He kind of cheap shots him or punched him or hit him in the gut. Malenko's leg was caught between the bottom and middle rope. Pillman pins Malenko for the victory, and I don't say he beats him clean. I thought like Kevin Sullivan will get involved, disappointed because they're in this major rivalry, a minor rivalry between Pillman and Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster. They'll fight at Super Brawl that year, when basically Pillman will break the fourth wall. You know, said like, I respect you, Booker Man. I'll review that show in the future. So anyway, the match was okay, a slightly okay match, not the best one. You know, it was a short match. It was about a 6-minute match. So moving on to the third match. The third match, we got Harlem Heat defending the WCW Tag Team Championships against Sting and Lex Luger. No Sister Sherry in their corner, because Sister Sherry's in this rivalry, not rivalry, but in this relationship storyline with Colonel Robert Parker. And I think they're hyping up, they're doing a wedding at Clash of the Champions that was thwarted by Medusa. Another story for another time. So this was Sting's first appearance. I think this is his first appearance with brown hair. I think the last show he was with blonde hair. He became brown. He'll be brown to this day. You know, that was his natural color, brown. You know, he dyed his hair in his early days as the Sting character, like late 80s going into the mid 90s, before he was Krog Sting to this day. Anyway, the match was okay. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It was a bit boring with the rest holds. Sometimes I hate rest holds in pro wrestling. Sometimes if they do it once or twice, I'll be okay. But it kind of brings down the quality of the match. You know, yeah, Sting had some offense. Every time Sting has some offense, he gets cut off by members of Holland Heat. He did like 2 Stinger splashes on both Booker T and Stevie Ray. He was going for like the Scorpion Deathlock, but Booker T, yeah, he locked it on Stevie Ray. Booker T hit Sting with an axle kick. Yeah, it was a bit boring, but it was okay. In the end, Luger got the hot tag. He kind of used, I think he was holding some foreign object. He kind of hit one member of the Holland Heat with, I think it was coins. I think it was on Booker T. Luger pins, I think it was Booker T, to win this match, and they become new tag team champions. And then basically Luger was shouting, "We did it!" And we're still in this. It's still in this storyline between him and Sting. Sting's in this don't trust Luger, because Luger cost him that triangle match at Starrcade. He cost him the match against Flair last week. I thought he's going to cost Sting the tag team titles on this show. Unfortunately, I was wrong. You know, it's a title change. You know, Holland Heat will later on win the tag team titles belts back. They won't because they become a multiple time tag team champions throughout the run in WCW. It didn't hurt him in the long run. You know, it didn't hurt their credibility. It's just like, it's just a title change. Who cares? They're good workers. Sting, Luger, Holland Heat. They did not gel that well. It's just a 10-minute match. Like I say, it wasn't terrible, wasn't great, but it was an okay match. And the main event, we got One Man Gang, the United States champion, defending the... Actually, he didn't put the title on the line. He takes on Hulk Hogan. One Man Gang is, formerly known as the African Dream Akeem in the WWF. He's now part of the Dungeon of Doom. The match was just blah. One Man Gang has some offense. Hogan got his comeback. It's so predictable that Hogan's gonna win. Hogan hit One Man Gang with the leg drop, and that was it. And Hogan, being Superman, this is something like what John Cena will blush if it's right now. He'll probably something what Cena will do. Basically, at Hogan and Savage beating down members of the DOD, Dungeon of Doom, and the Horsemen. You had like Flair showing up, Benoit showing up, Anderson showing up, the Giant showing up. He's going after Hogan and Savage. Rest of the Horsemen and the DOD restraining Giant, and then we got this one final segment between Savage and Hogan. He said like, I'm doing the right thing, climbing, I'm winning to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, and also they kind of really plugging, hyping up Clash of the Champions. Said about Kevin Green. He didn't have a great career in WCW, and the return of Miss Elizabeth. He returned at Clash of the Champions, and this is the start of her run in WCW. I think she left in 2000 because she was married. She used to be managing and married Savage, and then she'd be managing and marrying Luger. I'm guessing that I think they were married in real life, Luger and Miss Elizabeth. There were a couple until 2003, until her timely death. Another story, another time. I could see doing like, I don't think they did an episode so far for Dark Side of the Ring about Miss Elizabeth. I want to see that. That could be good. I don't see Luger talking about it. I don't see it's gonna happen. It's like similar to Rick Martel talking about Dino Bravo. Another story for another time. So anyway, this episode of Monday Nitro, the go-home show to Clash of the Champions, it was an okay show. I give it about probably 5.5. It was an okay. It's just like a thumbs in the middle show. The only match actually the two matches in the good. The opener, that was, Savage versus Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. And the match between Malenko and Pillman, it was a slightly decent match. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't terrible. It was back and forth between putting the Malenko Pillman match in the okay or the good, but I put it was a good match. The okay was the okay, for basically, the tag team title match between Hall and Heat versus Sting and Luger, and also the thing in the bad has to be, it wasn't a bad match. It was basically a quick match between One Man Gang and Hogan. I knew Hogan's gonna win. Yeah, it was an okay an okay show for this Nitro. The Nitro will get better. We'll get better later on in 1996. I saw some glimpses that it was. You could tell they're breaking away from that 1995 cycle. We're still in this Dungeon of Doom era. That will soonly break after Uncensored 96. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my review of WCW Monday Nitro for the 22nd of January 1996. Yeah, like I said, it was an okay show. Could be a lot better. I feel like it's mediocre. They did a title change before the Clash of the Champions shows. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Anyway, so it's better than what WWE's doing, like doing like random title changes before a pay-per-view. That's in today's day. Anyway, so yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Click the bell if you subscribe to the channel. Yeah, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, Marvel videos, like reviewing Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. We're on the final movie of Phase 1 so far this weekend. That is doing my review of Avengers Assemble, the first one, and also my reviews of WandaVision Series 1. Yeah, subscribe to that and more, like game streams and live streams. Game streams will coming back very soon, folks. Yeah, subscribe and many more. So leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash the like button, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, and this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, and see you next time for another review of WCW Monday Nitro, the big boys play.